Hey, who's got a beer bong?
That would be amazing. So, let's get this thing started with my friend, the one and only, Gary fucking Holt.
Any requests? I don't know.
Hey, Lizzie! Voice of Breaking.
I don't know that
Blood
one.
solo!
What's that?
Wanda by Blood solo!
Come on, yeah, actually, I'll take a Coors Light. Fuck it.
Yeah! Cheers, brother!
Right,
Everybody, one thing we want you guys to realize is we don't like to do normal stiff clinics, as you can tell. We like to have fun with this shit. So please, let's make this more of like a hang. Let's have some questions, lots of Q&A, and make it very interactive and make it very fun.
All right!
Let's loosen it up one more time. Let's get another fuck yeah.
Yeah!
I've never done this, so I don't know what I'm doing. It's one of those things. I'm happy to be here, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
You're doing it great, man.
Thanks. I'm just a bozo up here, like just having fun. So.
Gary fucking Holt, everybody, come
What I like about this guitar?
It's pretty.
What's not to like? I mean, it's beautiful. I mean, even if it played and sounded like shit, I'd love it. But it's the finest guitar I've ever owned. This isn't mine. This particular guitar is not even mine. It came out of a box.
It's yours now.
It's yours now.
No, I mean I have my own. But it came out of a box and I didn't touch it. I didn't adjust anything on it. It's like different string gauge than what I'm accustomed to and stuff. But it's just awesome. What's that?
Gary, what games do you play?
It depends on which band. With Exodus, I use 50 to 10 heavy core, but we tune down to D to D. This, I don't know, something extremely light.
Those are 9 to 42s.
Yeah, these are really light, way lighter than I use, but I kinked a tendon in my hand the other day, so I pulled this one up, and because my own guitar, which is back there, thicker strings, it was kind of hurting a little bit. I did something, yeah, you can have it. Yeah. And I did something in my hand, and they pulled this one out, and I picked it up and said, oh, that's a lot easier to play, because...
Now that you're using a shorter scale, you can thin it down a little bit, can't you?
Yeah, well, Les Paul scale, 24 3/4, it's like... as you become old like me and decrepit and start falling apart, you start looking for any advantage you can get, like...
It sounds effortless, though,
No, it's not effortless at all. Actually, today it's a lot more effortless because of my hand, but, I don't know, there's a million better guitar players out there than me, I just, But, all I really care about is rhythm playing anyway, lead playing... It's like there's guys out there who are such amazing lead players and they're so much better than me at it, but lead playing is like it's the smallest percentage of a song, and some of those same guys when it comes to rhythm, it's like they can't play rhythm at all, and I think you should dedicate yourself more to the 99.9% of a song other than the 1% when you're like going shredding and noodling around.
Because remember, the one thing that everybody remembers is the riff.
Oh yeah, the riff. Fuck the solos. As long as your shit goes. Does lead wise, although James does some tasty ass solos when he does it.
Dude, his harmony solos on Master of Puppets were choice.
Oh, they're perfect. And he does that beautiful solo on Nothing Else Matters. But the guy's the undisputed king of rhythm guitar playing. So.
About Dave Mustaine, man, he's like the king of fucking rhythm guitar.
Dave's very, very good. James is just super aggressive, and that's what I like. It's like
He's all down picking.
Yeah. James downpick shit that no mortal man would downpick. I mean, I'm not talking about just like the but he'll downpick riffs that are crossing across three strings. It'll sound like you're going da 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 da, and he's sitting there through the whole thing, and that's to me that's the mark of a man amongst men as far as guitar players go.
Hell yeah.
You don't want any of that wussy shit.
That's right.
You gotta basically you gotta dig in. Because I mean, what a lot of people don't understand is the difference in timbre you get on where you strike a chord and how you do it. Like a lot of guys they play fast, but they're like, but they're not. No, I'll tune it. So,
Cool.
yeah, yeah.
What's the first song that you wrote on Bonded by Blood?
Strike of the Beast. Yeah, yeah.
Can you give me the main riff?
Yeah. This action's a little bit low for the rhythm, but it sure is easy to
What
play.
tuning is it on the album?
On the album Bonded by Blood's the only album we did that was 440. And the next three after that, we tuned the craziest tuning. We tuned a quarter step down.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Try tuning by ear to that. It's a mess. But Dimebag did that too.
Yeah, that's right.
He tuned down, and I didn't know anybody else did that. And we just didn't know better. We were kids, and like, let's tune down a quarter step. Like that really matters much, you know. It's like, this is, you know, it's a stupid thing, you know. But you know, now we tune down to D, you know.
That makes sense. I had a really hard time figuring out a lot of the riffs on Pleasures of the Flesh because of that now.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like 430 or some shit like that, you know.
How was your transition from Exodus to playing this lyric?
You know, it's pretty seamless. You know, I mean, I had to learn not only the set, I had to learn how Jeff and Carrie wrote songs, you know, because like at first I think I had the song perfectly mastered, but then I realized I had some notes off because they write very chromatically. Yeah. And, you know, whereas I tend to like, with Exodus, it's a little more like, you know, a little more blues, and you know, they'll like, you know, shit like that, you know. A lot of like, you know, that kind of stuff. You know, and so once you learn how they write, it becomes so much easier for me to learn more Slayer songs because I kind of I get it. You know, I understand how they do things, and I tend to detach myself from the way, you know, I've always done it, you know.
Hey, Gary?
Yeah.
Mike Harden online is wondering, when did you first pick up the guitar?
I was 17, whatever year that is. I'm too old to count that far back. And Kirk Hammett taught me how to play guitar.
What?
Yeah. Kirk was my first guitar teacher.
Rolling Stone riffs?
Yeah, some Rolling Stone song, and I can't remember it. You know, I don't know what it was. But Kirk and I first hung out. We went to see Ted Nugent and the Scorpions at the Cow Palace, and we got completely shit-faced. You know, this is in the days when we'd pile in our manager, you know, which was at that time you're playing backyard parties. It was Mark Myrick, and that's just basically your friend. And we'd pile in the back of his station wagon, and the wheel well where you put the spare tire was so big it could hold a pony keg. And so the only thing coming out of that was the keg hose, you know. And Kirk like tried to hit like the security guard with a beer when they tried to take his beer from him going in. But Kirk weighed about, you know, like I did. We weighed about 100 pounds wet. And they just, you know, back then, you know, they just took it from him, let him go in. And he ended up like, you know, I was a roadie. I wasn't a guitar tech. I was a roadie, you know. Like all I did was carry a combo amp and drink beer and hang out. And he asked, you know, if I wanted to learn guitar, and he showed me some chords and a couple of licks, and I was in the band 6 months later. But, you know, a lot of the way I play is because of how I learned from Kurt. You know, just even down to, you know, how I fret the power chords with my pinky, how I hold a pick. It's, you know, kind of like same breed on that, you know. So, you know.
Yeah.
What do you do to warm up for a show?
I have to warm up a lot now, you know, because when I was younger, I just warmed up by, you know, probably some kind of pharmaceutical aid, you know, or something. Or, you know, but, you know, you're young and full of energy and you don't have a problem. You know, like out on tour, Carrie and I start warming up an hour before the show. And I play through every scale and thing that will make me cramp. Because if I don't, I will cramp up, you know. And these are problems, once again, I didn't have when I was younger. And as I get older, you know, your tendons start showing their age. Your knuckles get arthritic like mine are, you know, and they hurt to even just whack them on anything. But, you know, it's a small price to pay, you know. Play metal for a career, you know. It's like, you know, I'll play it if I got to, like, start getting, like, shots in every finger before I play. You know, fuck it.
Matthew Cummer was asking, will more dates be added to Exodus's tour with King Diamond?
That I don't know. I know there's some stuff being worked into there. That tour is gonna suck for me because it's one that I won't be there for. Because my Slayer commitments have me elsewhere, you know. But I'll be replaced by my stunt double, Craig Loom from Heathen, who does a fucking killer job every time, and you know the band sounds as good as ever with him there. And
Yeah.
but I think there are some shows being added. I know there's a bunch. There's going to be Exodus off day headlining stuff as well, so there'll be longer sets being played and stuff. So it should be killer.
Well, so my understanding, you're not going to be playing on those Exodus dates?
No, I'm not. Did I just say something I shouldn't have? I don't know. No, it's the first time in the States this has happened, you know, but you know, it's kind of one of those things, you know, just you know,
Double duty has its price.
it has its price, and I can't make, you know, I wouldn't expect the band to not work because I can't, you know.
Is this guy named Wyatt who's wondering, what's your beer limit before you start to play sloppy? Because his is 8.
8? He must be younger than me because my beer limit's less than that. I think I had like 3 Coors Lights back there while we were sitting around for the last couple hours, and I was offered one, I turned it down, and then I accepted because I can talk all through 100 beers. Playing is another thing. Live though, I'll open a beer 1 hour before the show. No, I haven't barely touched that one. Thank you though. But during the course of a show, I'll drink a couple of beers. You know, 2. If it's an Exodus headlining show, I'll drink 4.
Yeah. You know those. You've been playing those songs for 30 years, so.
Yeah, exactly. You know.
All right, non-related question, Gary, to guitar. What happened to your Instagram account?
I took it down.
Was it from pressure from these dummies?
No. I mean, although I should have said that. It was one of those things that ran its course, and it was fun while I had it. But it kind of took on a life of its own, and it was just too hard to like police it, and and I'm a thick-skinned guy, but all it takes is having to like monitor the behavior of a few assholes to make someone like say, I'll go back to like remaining anonymous and just hang out at home and play with my cats,
There's a lot of followers that we want you back.
I know,
Right,
but
guys? You want them back?
I'm sorry, I won't be back though. I'm not trying to break anybody's balls, but I went for years with no social media, and then management told me to do it, and I never thought it would become what it had, and I'm kind of done with it. It's like it's a time. It becomes like crack. You just end up like staring at Instagram all day long. And
Just refresh it.
yeah, it's like it's one of those things. I miss keeping up with my friends, like guys like John Five, who's like John Five, who's like the best, most well-rounded guitar player in the world. And the most humble guy in the world, which makes him that much better because he's so amazing, but he has no ego whatsoever, and he's just when we did some Slayer Rob Zombie Exodus dates, I did like my one cheating shitty little version of a bluegrass lift during a solo because he was standing there. I looked at him and laughed, because the guy's a bluegrass master, and all I did was and that's not even bluegrass, it's just cheating and doing a chromatic thing down and ending on a little bluesy scale,
A little flat 5 or something.
yeah, and I just looked at him like, how you like that, like how you like them apples,
And he's also a bizarre human being as well.
Oh, but I love Bizarre. Bizarre is good. Normal
We
is
wouldn't be in
boring.
this industry if we were normal.
Oh no, God no.
Like I've always said, if anybody's in the music industry and they choose heavy metal, there's obviously something wrong with you as it is. Because you can always go to college and get a real job, but we actually prefer not to actually make real, stupid, normalcy lives.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's fucked up.
I mean, I'm fairly normal. I own a furnace door that came out of a Slovenian serial killer's house that he had burned like 5 women behind. So. And I brought it home, and our tour bus caught on fire while I had that thing in my possession. And the craziest thing, though, is after telling that story, someone told me, and you flew home on the plane with that thing?
Oh, man.
your bus caught fire. I said, that wasn't why, you know, that's a whole nother story why I think it was karma wise. And it wasn't me, it was Jack, our bass player.
What's the earliest riff you can remember?
What's that?
What's the earliest riff you can remember and play right now for us?
The first song I ever played with Exodus Judas Priest Grinder. That was my audition. You know, Exodus was still a three-piece with Tom Hunting singing and playing drums, and Kirk handed me his guitar and said, here, you play it. And I played it, and he goes, we want to join the band. I said, okay, sure, I got nothing better to do.
Ideas, right?
Yeah, exactly.
How about a riff that's in the words that no one's heard yet?
I don't know. You know, I got a million riffs.
Play something, man.
They all work. I don't know. Repentless? Oh no, you gotta wait for the album. You gotta wait for that.
I already pre-ordered it, man.
9/11. 9/11, you'll hear it all.
Okay, do the solo to Repentless?
I don't even know the solo. No, when I play it live, I'm faking it half the time because some of that solo was so off the cuff. It's like, oh god, I'd never do it the same way twice. Yeah.
I remember because when you were tracking that, it was so like we walked in.
What's that? I'm sorry. A bit more lead?
Yeah.
On the Slayer record? Yeah, there's a lot of solos on there, you know, enough to, you know, keep me happy, you know. It's like,
What's your writing process? Do your songs just kind of come, or do you have to like sit down sometimes? You have designated times when I write. It looks like I'm going to write, 2 songs this week, and we just.
it's never that regimented, but I write songs now the exact same way I did when we were doing Bonded by Blood. I sit down and write a riff, you know. You sit and rock out, and, you know, you record it so you don't forget it, because sometimes the best riffs you ever write, you know, you like come back to it a day later and you spend 12 hours struggling to remember exactly the way you played it. And I'm super lo-fi when it comes to recording riffs. I use my iPhone now, and I just hit voice recorder and stick it in front of the amp, you know. I used to use my little 4-track cassette recorder even up to a few years ago, and until it died, you know. And can you even buy blank cassettes anymore? I don't know.
I don't even know if you. Yeah,
I probably still have hundreds, you know, but you know, it all starts with the riff, you know. It's like, you know, we play riff-based music, you know, so, you know, if you don't have the riff, you ain't got shit. You know, it's like, you know, we could sit there and go play some new metal shit and bark over the top of it, but, you know, we need something that's more like, you know. Gotta have riffs, you know.
Who wrote the lyric, I'm guarded by Satan, I'm writing on Baphomet?
That'd be like a 19-year-old me.
What was running across your mind? You're like...
Satan. You know, now, the silliest lyric on Bonded by Blood is the line in Strike of the Beast says, don't lose your mind, he's right behind, breathing fire in your face. How can he breathe fire in your face if he's behind you? It makes no fucking sense. But, you know, hey, you know, when you're a bunch of kids and your idols are like Merciful Fate and Venom, and you just want to write about the Dark Lord, you know, it made perfect sense to me at the time. It's almost as bad as on Toxic Waltz, and every singer who's been in Exodus has busted my balls over my pronunciation of the word athlete. You know, they're like, it's not, you know, thrash like an athlete. And I'm like, no, that's the way I do it. They got it wrong, you know, it's athlete, you know, not athlete. What's that? I'm sorry?
You don't know my life? I didn't even tell him.
I couldn't hear you.
You gotta tell him. You don't know my life?
Yeah, you know, it's like athlete, you know, I'm a world-class athlete.
that's right.
Did you ever jam with Dimebag when Exodus went on tour with Pantera?
Yeah, I mean, nothing like, you know, to like really write home about, but, you know, like he'd come into the Exodus room and we'd like mess around. But we did take over a bar in Denver on that tour, and we did Dirty Deeds, and it was a cover band, and we just invaded and just pillaged their gear. And I remember they were just looking at us, just completely like out of our minds, destroying these guys' guitars. Just whammy bar, shit's up in the air, and the guy's like, "That's the only guitar I got." You can see it in his face. Please don't hurt it. So that was the only real time we jammed, was when we had a night off and we went and took over for a little AC/DC jam.
So you got what looks like a tube screamer and a crybaby on the floor, and basically straight into the amp. Is that also your stage?
No, I'm using my Kemper preamp. Okay. I'm just using that to power it, and that's just a profile of my modded Marshall, which is like, I got 3 of them, and they're priceless to me, but they don't leave the house anymore. They're 1987 JCM 800s and modified, and they sound exactly like this. Straight through, they're just crushing. But I have it in a toaster now, That's what it looks like, The Kemper is just an amazing piece of gear.
It's the iPod of amps.
It's just so versatile,
What about with...
I was gonna say, favorite and least favorite Exodus song.
Favorite? That's like picking your children, It's like usually a better way to put it is what's
most fun to play.
most fun to play. That can change on any given day, I love playing Good Riddance. That one's crushing, and of course, like anything I've bonded is always there. Fabulous Disaster. Least favorite song? Maybe a couple of the stinkers on Force of Habit. Although Force of Habit's like my favorite album guitar-wise. The solos on it, and Rick Hunolt just shreds his ass off. But there's a couple of ill-advised attempts at blues thrash on it, maybe.
When it rains and pours.
Yeah, even though I like the song, the lyrics are just stupid as fuck, and that's on me.
What's your favorite Slayer song to play?
Angel of Death, come on. I'll play the slower part. This guitar's set up, I can't really grind on it. It's too low, but I already did that part. What's some other favorite Slayer stuff? South of Heaven's always fun. What's that?
The Antichrist.
I need 2 guitars to play Season of the Abyss. You should have. Intonation's a little not fine-tuned on this guy.
To dial that one in.
What's that?
Not to dial that one
I love the single coil on this thing. It's awesome. Something I don't get to use much in Slayer. There's not a lot of room for strat tones, but I like it. Yeah.
Gary, real quick, lessons in guitar violence, something that I took away from it was, hey, you play to your ability, better play slow and clean.
Yeah.
I like it. Can you help me out? Pick slide.
Yeah.
Pick slides, dude. I'm not that good at pick slides, all right?
I can do it.
It's the most underrated skill in guitar playing, all right? Because, like, Kerry King's a master at pick slides.
Yeah.
I hear it, because I have a monitor wedge that just has Kerry in it, because I like to hear both guitars. And he'll hit that shit, and it just scream. And sometimes I hit it, and I'm off the side of the fretboard, like that. It's like you really gotta like. But he does that shit like effortlessly, and I'm like, oops, like. But when I record a pitch slide on an album, I'll usually use something like a buck knife or something, because, you know, that little thin metal edge, you know, just overdub it and just, like razor blade or something works really good.
So are you starting like just the top string or in the middle?
It depends what kind of save you get that hot, the G string in there is really cool. You know? Or you They're fun. I'm just not the best at them.
When you take a look around and you see the fans that are here, what do you think? Like, what do you see? What do you want to play for them?
I don't know. What I see is I'm shocked and amazed that anybody showed up. But I don't know. You know, I'm just up here, you know, hanging out with all you guys. I think it's pretty cool. Thanks for showing up. What's that?
Look at the respect that everybody has for you here.
No, you're gonna make me start. I got something in my eye.
We love you, man.
There's some dirt. What's that? Yeah. There's like some dirt in the ventilation system in here or something. Man. I'll be right back. I gotta collect my thoughts. Oh, the wrong pickup. Brand new out of the box. You can tell. I don't think they stretch these at the factory. No. Yeah.
Exodus question.
Yeah.
What was the thought process on covering the song Lowrider? I mean, it was well established already, and then you guys threw a different kink in it, but I mean, I love it.
I like it more than the original, man.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Hey.
Yeah.
I grew up in the fucking, you know, surrounded by lowrider culture, you know, like, you know, I grew up in San Paulo, California. Two of my brothers were fucking lifted and juiced, fucking, and I grew up, you know, like 23rd Street in Richmond, California, had the fucking, had the main every fucking Friday night, and, you know, and you know, so I grew up in that area. My parents still live there, you know, and so it just kind of reminded me of that, you know, and we said, let's do fucking lowrider, you know, like, you know.
Thank you.
One of these days I'm gonna go out and get my 6'4" Impala, and you better believe it's gonna be lifted front to rear, side to side, and it's gonna have a mural on that thing of an Aztec warrior holding the fucking woman, you know, carrying her up to the fucking altar, and it's gonna be badass, rolling on Trues and Vogues, dude. Go grab my other guitar, would you? This thing's way out of tune. This thing, I've beat the strings and it's beyond salvation.
So what made you go to
Well, I was with ESP for like quite a while in the 90s when we did the reunion with Paul Bailoff. And it started as, you know, like, I guess you'd have to blame or thank, or however you want to look at it, you have to thank Kurt Hammett, because he was like, you should come back to ESP, dude. And when we did Comic-Con, we did his Fear Festival thing. Chris was there, who just went to get my other guitar, and they delivered a bunch of guitars for Kirk to play that night. And, you know, like, I don't even think he brought one of his own. And I got to look through the guitars before Kirk did, and I stole one.
A blue FRX, right?
Yeah, the trans black one.
Yeah, trans black.
And it was totally awesome. And I said, this one's going home with me. And Kirk said, take it, dude. It's yours. And so I took it. And Chris he said, you can have it. All you got to do is film this, like, you know, a happy birthday greeting for ESP for their anniversary. And I said, sure, you know, that's a small price to pay for a fine handmade guitar. I don't know. And then it just went from there, you know, and like, I don't have any regrets, you know, these guitars are awesome. This one's set up. This one's actually mine, so it's set up to dig into a little. Like I said, I grabbed the other one because I'm having some hand issues, and it just plays a lot easier. But you also, rhythm-wise, you can't do a whole lot with it. This one, can't reach that cutoff. Get over here. Is that thing even on? Oh, there a lot lighter too.
Love it.
Yeah. Anyway,
Fucking awesome, man.
thanks.
How do you think it's going to be with the process of composing music in Slayer? Do you think it's going to be a lot different from the way you do it in Exodus?
I don't know. I mean, that's a long ways off. God, we got a whole album cycle to tour about before we even think of that. But I mean, I think when you're playing thrash metal, like I said earlier, it all starts with the riff, and what else are you going to do? I can't write lyrics before I know what I'm writing to. Sometimes I'll have a title and a subject matter. I'm like, this is really cool, and I love the sound of this, and it sounds like something fast and aggressive. Then I'll work from there and fill in the blanks later.
Do you pick and choose between where you're gonna write for Exodus and Slayer?
I'm sorry?
Do you pick and choose whether you're gonna write for Exodus and Slayer?
I haven't written anything for Slayer yet, but I've got no shortage of riffs for anything. Like on my phone right now, I have about 500 I didn't use on the last Exodus album. Because like I said, I just record them on my phone because, Jack Gibson, our bass player, he's got full Pro Tools and he engineered, everything but the drums on the new Exodus album. But, that's just too time consuming for me. I just want to write a riff and record it before I forget it, Yeah, totally. You in the back. Yeah, there you go. I can't hear you over there in the tailgate section. There we go. Hold on. Let me see what I can find here. Hold on. Let me see here. There it is. All right. Are they not on? I haven't updated my phone from. They're on my laptop. They're not on here. I was going to put it up and rock you out there for a second, but I just looked at it. They're not there. Fortunately. What's that?
Get Tom Mariah on the phone. Can we call him right now?
I could, but I won't. Come on now. The last thing he wants to do is no, I wouldn't say that. The last thing he wants to do is be bothered by all of us and me in particular asking him stupid questions. And dude, we're drinking beer. What are you doing?
After all, this is all about you, man.
No, it's not. It's about you. It ain't about me.
It's about you, man. You rock, bro.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When you're adding the classical influence into it, did you know that was actually going to have such an impact on metal right after that?
I had no idea. It's like classical guitar is all something I love, but it's also something that I'm deeply ashamed to say I like have not been practicing in a million years, which is why I was asking you about acoustic guitar. I have a couple. I've got a couple of nylon strings and stuff, but I used to practice it constantly, and I don't. I still know like little rudimentary things, but my fingers aren't in shape for it, you know, and I don't have the fingernails groomed for it, and the calluses, and
No chance of 30 seconds tonight?
What's that?
No chance of 30 seconds?
I'm not. If I had a, hold on, let me find a clean profile here. Let me see.
Give
Here.
him another beer.
Hold on. Let's see here. All right. There we go. All right, let me see here. I think I got a clean one here. Let's see, I'm out of practice. The mighty power of the Kemper, though, sounds good. Yank that up. Guess I'm doing a commercial for Kemper now. Thing sounds great.
Hey, goddamn man, come on, let's go.
What's that?
I know you can sing right there.
Oh, your fingernails snagging the strings.
Yeah.
Not set up for it, but. Yeah.
Fucking awesome, man.
Were you hesitant about joining Slayer? Did you think like, oh fuck, I have like big shoes to fill?
Well, I didn't join Slayer at first. Jeff was still very much with us, and at the time, all I planned on doing was taking some time off from Exodus and writing, you know, because we've been on the road nonstop since Tempo of the Damned, and I was out doing 70,000 tons of metal cruise, and Kerry didn't want to bother me on the boat, so he texted a friend of ours, both my tattoo artist Bob Tyrell, and said, have Gary call me when he gets ashore, and he asked if I'd fill out for a couple tours, and a couple tours became a few tours, and then unfortunately Jeff passed away and we lost him. And so, you know, what started out as maybe a couple of months has been 5 years now, so it's kind of crazy when you think about it, but you know.
Jeff Patterson, everybody, come on!
Yeah. Fuck yeah, of course.
How do you feel about playing about the upcoming tour on the motorboat?
Oh, it's gonna be killer. You know, fucking play on a cruise ship. You know, I do double duty. I get both sets done in the first 2 days, and from there on, I just relax and eat way too much and just chill out on a boat. You know, so it should be really good.
Was there one of those crazy stories from the tours?
Crazy stories? Oh God, yeah.
One of those unmentionables.
No. I mean, most of our crazy stories I've repeated before, and whenever I'm asked that question, I can't think of them, probably because we're drinking too much. I mean, usually they involve Paul Bailoff, you know. You know, either Paul was chasing people around with like blood on his hands and wiping blood on people in the front row who didn't belong there, or our close-knit group of friends known as the Slay Team were like beating people to death, you know, at Ruthie's Inn, and you know, Toby Rage would like, he'd run out across the crowd and he'd make it like 25 feet stepping across people's heads, you know, all 6'4" of them. So, you know, that was awesome. Rest in peace, Toby and Paul. Yes.
Was Harold part of the slave team?
Harold O?
Harold O.
No, he was part of the crowd, but he wasn't part of the Slay Team because he was way too big of a pussy. Harold, I love you. No, he was one of us, that's for sure. But he was the reason the book is so amazing, you know, Murder in the Front Row, because he was photographing all this shit, you know, like, and that's why he has pictures of like Andy Airborne Anderson, like skying off the trailer stage at Aquatic Park, you know, Day in the Dirt, and Toby and everybody, because, you know, he documented it, and it's important because not everybody carried a camera around back then, so, you know, it's a huge part of like Bay Area metal history is Harold O and Brian Liu, you know. Harold's a nutcase. He's crazy as fuck. I love Harold to death, though. But I don't think I've ever seen him do a stage dive in his life.
What's your favorite crowd to play in front of?
San Francisco. No. Except for, like I was telling Chris earlier, also my least favorite place to play is San Francisco. Because I've got to babysit every friend and brother and family and guest I got, and by the time show's over, I'm lucky if I can find like a half-drank beer anywhere, and you know, like my closest friends and family will also be the biggest nuisance. You know, they're the ones, like, you know, my tour manager's coming up and saying, you got to handle these people. They're out of control. You know, they're into everything. They're walking right into restricted areas and opening up road cases, and because they're looking for beer. You know, like on Mayhem. You know, like L.A. and San Francisco were awesome, but I couldn't wait to get out of California. You know, it's like nice. I could relax a little. You know, I don't have 35 guests. You know, all of them wanting beer.
Did you know Steve Sousa?
What's that?
Steve Sousa.
Yeah, of course. He's my singer.
Really good friends.
Oh, you know Steve Sousa. I've been playing heavy metal for a long time. My hearing is about as bad as my eyesight. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got Steve Sousa into working for Bill Graham before he was singing.
Yeah, that's
Got him into a couple bands.
yeah. The old Bill Graham Presents days when it wasn't all ran by one corporate conglomerate.
Yes.
The last great individual promoter.
It was an honor knowing him.
Yeah.
What wah are you using?
This is a Zach wah. I love it. It's what I use all the time with Exodus. With Slayer, I use the Dunlop Cantrell wah, which is just fucking awesome. Because Kerry uses the Dunlop Wild wah, and you know, I want something to differentiate the wah sounds a little. And the Jerry Cantrell has just got this throaty, awesome mid to it. It's amazing. Yeah, it's awesome.
What brand of strings do you use?
Dunlop. With Exodus, I use 10 to 50 heavy core, so they kind of feel like a 10 to 52, but they're a little lighter and smaller diameter.
And with Slayer?
With Slayer, we got 3 different tunings. I mean, Exodus has 2, Like with Exodus, when we drop tune, I put like a 60 on the E. And with Slayer, I use 9 to 46 for the standard E flat, and then 10 to 52 for the next step down, and then I put like a 60 on for the drop B stuff. So.
Was there a conscious effort to go brutal on the albums Exhibit A and Exhibit B?
There always. It's not a conscious. No, let me elaborate. It's not a conscious effort. Like, oh, let's be like as heavy as like death metal bands. It's just where we were. You know, it's like, you know, to me, thrash is, you know, has always been a progressive art form where we can do what we want. And you know, when Bonded by Blood and that stuff was written, you know, it was the heaviest fucking thing in the world. You know, I like going conk conk conk. You know, it's fucking awesome. You know, see, like, yeah. There you go. What's that?
Are you on the Metal Legions album?
I did some solos on it.
What did you do?
I don't even know what songs. we like showed up before soundcheck at a show in New York, and I went to the studio with Alex Skolnick and Mark Mengi, and you know, they were like, "We're gonna leave at 9," and I said 9-ish, motherfucker. You know, a.m. You know, we'll leave when I'm ready to get up. But I went in and they played the track, and I just did some solos, and I don't remember what I did or on what song, but it came out good. You know, the album's really good.
Yeah, it is.
What was your favorite tour?
Venom, Slayer, and Exodus. I think if you ask Carrie, it'd be the same thing, you know, because Venom were our heroes. We were touring with a band that like had a great deal to do with who we are today. You know, like, you know, black metal is still like, you know, one of my holy grail albums. You know, that and Melissa and Don't Break the Oath. You know, and the first Angel Witch album are like holy grail records to me. You know, they influenced everything I do.
I'm not sure if you have to jump up there and say.
Aside from 20 million other bands. Yeah.
When did you make the transition from passive to active?
I'm sorry?
When did you make the transition from passive pickup to active? 'Cause I remember using.
Yeah, I go back and forth. You know, I've been using I use the EMG actives like through the late 80s and the 90s, and then I went passive for a while, but talking to EMG and about working on something new here, so, you know, stay tuned. Something that might be the best of both worlds, and I'm entirely excited
I
about
have
it.
a last couple of questions, and then we'll do the meet and greet.
Yeah, sure.
I'll meet you.
That was kind of creepy.
Yeah. That was a little strange, man. I don't know. The way you said that in this flatline Buffalo Bill demeanor was like totally cool. totally creepy, but cool.
Very fucking Holt.
So would you need me?
What advice do you have for developing guitar tone and technique for thrash metal?
It's all about rhythm technique. You know, you have to push your right hand to the point to where, you know, you can get past the pain, because to do it right, it hurts. You know, and that's why there's so many shred guys who can't do it, because it doesn't hurt to play lead. Maybe like, oh, I got a cramp, I stubbed my toe kind of thing. But it's not physical, you know, and you know, the right hand picking, you know, it takes work to where you get stronger, and then your right hand looks incredibly larger than your left, and you look totally off balance. And but it's all about knowing how to strike the strings and where, as well as like how fast and accurate. You know, it's like you hit close to the bridge, you're gonna get a brighter chord. Like, you know, you could be picking right here, and at the end of the song, you want that deep stop, you know, on the E, and you move your hand up a little and dig in and get that instead of bang, you know. And it's work, it's repetition, muscle memory.
When you were mentioning earlier about how you finger your power chords, when you dig in real tough, do you sometimes meet the strings so you're hitting extra notes and getting those extra overtones?
Oh yeah, I do it all the time, especially on E chords. You know, I'll get like all your 3 primary chords in there, so I can get that, you know, like, and get it to really bite, you know.
Not real precise, just digging in and trying to get as much.
Well, you want the best of both, though. You want precision, and you want like aggression as well, you know.
Last question, and then we're going to go to the signing.
Robo Razors.
Hold on. All right, he's called one out that I like. All right.
Yeah! Gotta get you this thing, man.
Oh, wrong profile. That one ain't it. There you go. I love that riff. We need to play that song again live.
Yeah!
It's been far too long.
Yeah. One more since we'll never hear it live.
Hey, Gary Holt!
I ripped that riff off from AC/DC Beating Around the Bush, by the way. Come on, listen. You know, it's very similar. It's thrash metal AC/DC, but they're like my favorite band of all time, so it makes perfect sense.
Yeah! Hey, Gary Holt!
Yes.
I fucking love you, man.
I love you too.
Okay, you want to do that? All right. Well, real quick, Tim, the owner of Six String Music, it was great to put this on.
Yeah!
Give it up for this guy, all right? He has got a deal going on with these Go-Go clip-on tuners. The pink ones, for everyone that is sold, 25% goes to the Susan B. Komen Save the Titties Foundation.
Yes! Yeah!
I love your so subtle way of putting that. All right. Here, we'll go out with a. What's that? Here, we'll go out with a bar song. There we go.
Hey, Gary Holt! Gary Holt!
All right.
Gary Holt!
Yeah.
I fucking love you, man!
Thank you.
So everybody, let's get, give it up for Gary first.
Gary, you're the best!
Everybody in line, we can go through the signing portion. Okay. Want to go through some online questions real quick?
Oh yeah, sure.
Or you did? Okay, so you did. Oh, that was fast. Yep. Here, where's your
Yeah.
I don't know.
Still hunting.
What was your price? Wait, 8 by 10s? They're tanks. You pick them up?
I haven't seen him in like 25 years.